It is 6 a.m. Graveyard quiet. I'm the only one here. I drape my thrift store suit jacket over the back of my chair and take a seat at my desk. I will be here for the next 13 hours. It was like this yesterday and the day before, and if I don't do something about it, for years to come. My boss walks in, barely acknowledges me. I see the light on my phone turn red. It means he's making a call. I pick up my phone while on mute. He will not talk to me directly. I'm trying to learn how to be a semiconductor stock analyst by listening to him talk to other people. I am miserable. And lately, I've been having suicidal thoughts. I worked so hard to be sitting in this stupid, uncomfortable chair. Do you know what I had to do to get here? My face flushes red as all the blood goes to the surface of my skin. I fend off the feeling of embarrassment and keep walking. I'm standing between the two giant flagpoles in front of the Bank of America World Headquarters. I've been sending out resumes for weeks. I'm running out of money. 6 for $1 instant ramen is getting very old. I put on the homemade sandwich board sign over my head for everyone to see it. Job needed, financial analyst, East Coast educated, 100 hours a week, no problem. Please take resume. The sun starts to come up, and the San Francisco financial district comes alive with activity. I start darting in my direction. Some look at me incredulously, some as if I am insane. I pass out resumes to anyone who will take them. This is an act of sheer desperation. In the end, though, it works. A financial analyst takes my resume, tells her director of research about me. After a short interview, I'm hired on the spot. I am making $30,000 a year. And finally, I'm on the road to riches that I wanted since I was a kid. I'm walking around with a spray tank filled with poison. It's a little heavy for me, though, because I'm only 10 years old. I'm standing in the living room of a mansion on Chicago's North Shore. I spray around the walls in every room to keep the bugs away. I spray around the grand piano, all the fancy art, the abundance of beautiful things that they have. I'm helping my dad in his one-man pest control company. Later on, we're going to go spray in low-income housing. That's closer to how we live. I have rare access into people's private spaces. I go into their bedrooms, their closets. I see everything. And when I talk to the people from these different worlds, it's pretty clear to me that there is not a lot of fundamental differences between the two of them. And if I can be rich or poor in this world, I choose to be rich. And I know that killing bugs is not going to get me there. But as I sit here staring at that red light on that damn phone at hour 10 of Groundhog Day, I have to wonder if I would have been better off choosing pest control. At least then I'd only be killing bugs, not thinking about killing myself. I grab my suit jacket and head out the door. I am done. I hear about this thing called the internet. Well, kid, I'm impressed. You've got gumption, Mark tells me at our first meeting at the Fairmont Hotel. I had been trying to get a human on the phone at an internet company that had an entry-level position listed on their website for weeks. Every day, I'm random digit dialing extensions. Today, I press some numbers, and I hear a message that tells me what Mark Goldstein's pager number is. And I know from the website that Mark is the CEO of the company. I page him right away without any hesitation. He calls me back. Who is this? I explain, and he invites me over to lunch. I tell him about my current situation, how I got to be, sitting in front of him today, and that is when he applauded my audacity. and then followed up with, I sold the company. There is no job. But he tells me to keep in touch with him. I am desperate for money, and I call him back. He invites me over to his houseboat in Sausalito. I figure that, we're just going to sit and talk, but Mark has other ideas for me. He takes me to the dock, straps my feet into a pair of water skis, turns on the motor to a speedboat. I can barely breathe. I'm being pulled under the water again and again. I am being dragged behind the boat. But I am not giving up. I finally get up on the skis, and the test is over. He pulls over back to the dock, throws a towel at me, picks up his phone, and starts a conversation. When he hangs up, he tells me that a venture capitalist friend of his will meet me tomorrow. A few days later, I'm a business analyst at Netscape, the company that invented the web browser and the biggest of the names on the internet. I am quickly becoming the man to talk with about how to make money on the internet. People want to talk with me because I have the answers. I'm sitting across from a founder from Seattle that wants to put his bookstore on our website. He introduces himself. Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos. I map out what a deal could look like, and we start the partnership. I do this for tons of companies. My hair is on fire, but I love it. I know that this is a special moment in history. But the feelings of success and pride come to a halt when Netscape gets purchased. I meet with the new leadership team. You're so lucky we bought you. We can't believe you made it this far without us. I and others quit, walk away from the company that we shaped. But I have tons of opportunities now. I have the name, the reputation, the experience to be considered a big player with a big paycheck. I am fulfilling the dreams of my 10-year-old self. It's all happening. I get a call from my old boss. Look, I think it's worth the risk. He tells me that he's taking the leap to go to a tiny little internet company that just left working out of a garage. They're not funded, and they don't have a business plan, he tells me. I am used to thousands of people, tons of resources. Besides, another search engine. People tell me I would be foolish. The world doesn't need another search engine. It's 1999. That ship has sailed, they tell me. But as I sat across from Larry Page in the first Google office, I could not help but feel the pull to step back into the void. My 10-year-old self wants me to play it safe. Follow the title, follow the salary. But being able to follow my old team, it just felt right. I went from tons of people, tons of resources, to a rinky-dink little office that looked like Santa's workshop with just a few engineers tinkering with toys. But the wheels were turning, and the energy was palpable. I was on the design team for our first ad program. I negotiated major deals. I carried cans of Coke from the door to the fridge, and I slept under my desk. Being employee number 13 didn't mean a lot back then. Like others, I dove into the energy of a startup. Unlike others, my risk paid off. You could say it was luck, but I'm not so sure. Throwing myself into the void again and again became a way of life. I was not going to stop until I'd made it. I'm reminded of a tarot card called The Fool. On it, there's a drawing of a colorfully dressed man with a slight smile on his face about to step off a cliff. The fool is not concerned about his safety. He just keeps moving forward, even if that leads into the abyss, because sometimes that is the only way to get to where you want to go. Into the unknown, the darkness, no parachute. And that means getting uncomfortable. Put on the sandwich board, walk out of the certain, get dragged behind the boat, and follow your team into the void. That is something my 10-year-old self could not have known when looking at the different worlds back then. It's something I had to learn the hard way. So yeah, that's me, the fool. The guy who learned that it is not enough to go on the road less traveled. Sometimes you have to go where there is no road at all. And I invite you to be the fool too. Step off the cliff into the void. I'll meet you there.